and welcome all of you once again. It's Backpack. And today, actually, I'm talking about many of the upcoming episodes. We're going to concentrate more on the culture, the ancient culture and civilization. When we talk about history, or for anyone who is interested to learn more about ancient history, well, let me tell you that where else can you find except here in Egypt? We can say, yes, it is our competitive advantage. This is the Egyptian competitive advantage of the tourism industry, talking about history, culture, civilization. So let's find out together more about cultural tourism and more about the important sites where you can visit to learn more about ancient history. Well, basically right now I'm here in the Cairo Museum located in Tahrir district. Let's find together more about this important museum. We all know that we have many of the important pieces that have moved, of course, to the Grand Museum, but still we have more here to come to visit, to stop by and to learn more about these pieces. Wait for us, we'll be back right after this.
The Museum of Egyptian Antiquities is considered to be one of the oldest, most famous, and largest museums in the world. It has a long history that dates back to the year 1825, when Muhammad Ali Pasha, the ruler of Egypt at the time, issued a decree to establish a museum for the precious antiquities of Egypt. The first location of the museum was in front of Azbakiya Lake, between the squares of Opera and Ataba today. Then it was moved to the famous Tahrir Square when it opened to public on the November 15th, 1902. People come from all over the world to explore Egypt, to learn more about ancient civilization. And for sure, the Egyptian Museum is one of the best sites to learn all about ancient history and civilization.
How do you see the museum? How do you see all these pieces just here in one place?
It's very beautiful. I'm surprised of all the things are inside. I really like the coffins of Tutankhamun. I like the gold everywhere and turquoise stone. It's very beautiful.
So it looks like usually whenever we talk about monuments, we have to talk about Tutankhamun and all about the fairs that take place outside Egypt as well and all this. You always hear about it, right?
Yes, we next trip will be to Giza to see the pyramids, and we would like to visit also inside of the pyramid to see the how it's inside. They told me there is nothing inside, but we want to be inside.
Yeah, of course, but even when you are moving inside and looking at the walls and looking about the inscriptions on the walls, all these things can tell a lot of many different kinds of whenever we talk about ancient history and civilization, we are talking about different places and different pieces that lived throughout centuries.
Yeah, they told me it's the oldest pyramid in Giza. So there is really nothing inside, no statues, no reliefs. I don't know how it's called.
So tell me.
No painting on the wall. Sorry.
So I'm talking about places that you visited here in Egypt. So going to the pyramids, for example, and coming to the museum. Did you read about these places before on the internet, just searching around?
Yeah, we came here from Czech Republic to see Cairo. We were on the boat on the Nile, and we are excited to be here and to see this museum and to see. I would like to see a pyramid first time in my life. I never seen before, so it's very nice.
So talking about also the Red Sea, I understood that you have.
Yes, I did a lot of snorkeling. For free.
Where have you been?
We have hotel in Hurghada, so we are swimming around the hotels, but we would like to make a trip on the boat and do diving also to see more natural reservation. Yeah.
So tell me about your stay in Hurghada. First of all, about your impression. How do you see people? How do you see the services provided in the hotel? All these things.
Yeah, okay. So we are in a 5-star hotel, and the service is quite good, but there is a lot of rooms. It's like 1,200, so it's very, very big. But the care is good. We have a lot of swimming pool. We have many toboggans, but the beach is very shallow, so we must go maybe half of kilometer to go to swim.
Which is interesting.
Yeah, I never seen this before, but okay, that's fine.
What about snorkeling over there? Did you enjoy it?
Yes, there is a lot of beautiful fish. I think you can find everywhere. Also, even the corals are dead. You can see a lot of beautiful fish, so I recommend to do snorkeling for sure.
Is it your first time in Egypt?
Yes, yeah.
How did you get the decision? I mean, who told you about the place, or was it your own decision?
I wanted to go to Egypt because of corals. I really like diving and so on, and I would like to see the pyramids. So I think everyone has in his mind to go to Egypt because it's very, very famous place.
So what is your final message to anyone who is watching, or even when you go back to your country to talk to your friends about this experience? What are you going to tell them?
I definitely recommend to visit this place, Cairo, and I would like to come back yet for the future.
The museum consists of two floors. The ground floor that hosts the bigger displays such as coffins, huge statues and stone carvings, and the displays of the ground floor were organized according to the historical periods, which are the Old Kingdom, the Intermediate Period, the New Kingdom, the Late Period, the Greco-Roman period, and the antiquities of Nubia. We were all impressed by the big colossus in the entrance, which belongs to Ramses II, the son of Seti I, and the third king of the 19th dynasty, also called as Ramses the Great. He is often regarded as the greatest, most celebrated, and most powerful pharaoh of the Egyptian Empire. His successors and later Egyptians called him the Great Ancestor. Ramses II led several military expeditions, and he is known not only as Ramses the Great, but also a great warrior, builder, family and religious man. In all these categories, he seemed to excel. And of course, we know this due to the many temples that are still standing today. There are two main floors in the museum, the ground floor and the first floor. On the ground floor, there is an extensive collection of papyrus and coins used in the ancient world. and moving along to the Old Kingdom, where many of the visitors stand at, because simply talking about the classical tour here in Egypt, it always includes a Nile cruise to visit Upper Egypt, the Great Pyramids, and the Egyptian Museum. So definitely to learn more about the pyramids, it is important to visit this section of the Old Kingdom. The Old Kingdom is the name given to the period in the 3rd millennium BC when Egypt attained its first continuous peak of civilization in complexity and achievement. The first of 3 so-called kingdom periods, which mark the high points of civilization in the lower Nile Valley. The Old Kingdom is most commonly regarded as the period from the 3rd dynasty through to the 6th dynasty. During the Old Kingdom, the king of Egypt, not called the pharaoh until the New Kingdom, became a living god who ruled absolutely and could demand the services and wealth of his subjects. The upper floor of the museum hosts the smaller displays that include gadgets and tools, funerary objects, smaller statues, papyrus papers, wooden coffins, jewelry, and most importantly, the displays of the Tutankhamun tomb. is an experience not to be missed. The most famous exhibit at the Cairo Egyptian Museum is the Gold Room that holds the treasures from the tomb of Tutankhamun. The golden treasures and the funerary mask. The mask is inlaid with semi-precious stone, faience, and glass. And of course the sarcophagus and the three nested inner coffins, which were surrounded by four nested gilded shrines inscribed with the Book of the Dead and other funerary spells.
Well, that was all for today. Thank you all for joining us. Remember, we will be back to tell you more about cultural tourism. Many beautiful sites where you can visit, and you are going to enjoy a lot of these important sites to learn more about culture and also to have many different means of entertainment. Till we meet again, thank you for joining us, and bye.